Hey guys, Dan the RBRT Guy back with you again. Thanks so much for coming back to the channel. So guys, this week's video is going to center around our RBRT broken bolt extractor lineup. When you've snapped the head off a bolt and you have to drill a hole, I'm going to show you why the RBRT extractor is the one to reach for. There are 3 sets in the RBRT extractor lineup. We've got the 7-piece F.O.R. or foreign object removal set. And guys, if you don't know what the F.O.R. technology is all about, make sure you stick around for my demo in the bench vise and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. We've got the 7-piece non-F.O.R. set for when things get a little bit more of a tight access. And then we've got the 4-piece Excel set. When you need a little bit of a long reach, those are the ones to reach for. Now, before I go into the sizing of the sets, let me tell you a little bit about what sets our design apart from the others on the market. The first thing I'll call attention to is the straight cut. We are not a tapered cone cut. The benefit of that is that when you drill a cavity and you hammer this guy in, you get bite all the way around and all the way down. It's 100% engagement. Because guys, an extractor only has one job, right? To bite, that's it. RBRT accomplishes that better than anyone else because of that straight cut. Another feature is the curvature to the head design. When you bang in a tapered extractor and you put in torque, all that pressure gets put to the outside corners. It basically fights against its own design to try to weasel out that piece of metal. Our design pulls the pressure inward. It's a much more efficient way to extract a threaded piece of metal. Now let's have a little closer look at the sets. As I said before, both the F.O.R. and the non-F.O.R. are 7-piece sets, number 1 to number 7. They both come in a nice carbon fiber foam tray. We've put the drill bit sizes underneath of each extractor, so just use that size drill bit with that size extractor and you can't go wrong. The part number on the F.O.R. set is SXE7 RBRT F.O.R. Part number on the non-F.O.R. set is SXE7 RBRT. And then the part number on the 4-piece extra long set is SXLE4 RBRT. And incidentally, these extra long ones are excellent for taking broken spark plug heads out of the cylinder head. Let's go ahead and get over to the bench vise and do our demonstration. Okay guys, we're here at the bench vise and I've got this demo all set up. Here's what we've got. Now you might remember in the previous video where I had this caliper and knuckle set up, I dug that bolt out with our RBRT hex and then I proceeded to snap the head of it off with the socket extractor. I said that this bolt was already broken when I got this caliper set up and then I might use the RBRT F.O.R. extractor to dig it out. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. And if you have a look down into that bolt, you can see that I've already pre-drilled it. It's already ready to go. You know, it took me about 20 minutes to get that drilled out, nice and centered out. And you know, that's where a good extraction starts, guys, drilling the hole. It's very important that you take the time and drill as straight a hole as possible. I started with a center punch, then I went up in incremental sizes and drill bits until I achieved the right size for that extractor. I'm using a number 4, incidentally, for this demo. I put that down in there and I gauged that the number 4 would go in really well. There's enough meat on the bone around the hole once it's drilled to be able to sustain the pressure I'm going to need to crack this loose. I expect that's probably pretty tight. You know, extracting a broken piece of material is really kind of an art form. It's a bit of a dance. Just because you drill a hole and you bash an extractor in doesn't mean you're going to win the day. Doesn't mean you're going to get it out. There's some steps that you have to do to be able to do a successful extraction. It broke for a reason, so we know it's tight, right? We know it's seized in there pretty good. Now, one of the great things about our extractor, as I previously mentioned, is the bite. This extractor from RBRT, all the extractors, have the best bite on the planet, in my opinion. It will absolutely break before it slips. You know, a lot of those cone-shaped and tapered extractors, since the bite print is so small at the top leading edge, they'll likely slip and chew before you break it. You know, another good point I'd like to bring up is that not every tool is the right tool for every situation. That's why we have a toolbox full of options. In a situation like this where we have plenty of room, any one of these extractors would have done the job. But for this job, I've chosen the F.O.R. extractor. Now, like I said previously, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that F.O.R. system is. It's this threaded little sleeve that we have that spins down the shaft. Now, that threaded sleeve has several different functions. Let's get started on the extraction and I'll show you what they are. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bang our extractor down into the pre-drilled hole. Let's get her in there, line it up. All right. Now, one of the first key features of that little sleeve is that when you have the ability to do so, it's not necessary in every extraction, but when you have the ability to do so, you can take that sleeve and spin it down to the surface that you're trying to extract, and then just take a little wrench and give it just a little turn, just a little snug. And what that does is it locks the extractor into place. You don't want to continue spinning on it to where it'll pull the extractor up. You just want to snug it. So that's function number one. It stabilizes and strengthens the extractor. Function number two, like I said, when you're extracting a broken bolt, it's kind of a dance. So once you've got your extractor in, you've locked it in place, you get your ratchet, and you're moving it a little bit back and forth, trying to gauge how tight it is. If it doesn't want to come out, the next logical step is to add a little heat. Well, you don't want to burn your extractor up. You don't want to burn the tool up with a flame. So if you continue to spin down on that sleeve, it acts as a puller, and it will actually pull that extractor up out of the cavity that you're trying to get out, just like that. Okay, so now you can go ahead and heat that up without burning up your tool. Now, the cool thing about the RBRT extractor line is because of the unique head design, it will actually bite in the second time you pound it in just as well as it did the first time. Now, there is no other extractor that can claim that, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll take our tool and we'll pound it back down in and just give it a little bit of a snug there, just like that. Now let's see if we can get this bad boy out. It's pretty tight. I mean, it's flexing pretty good. That's not going to come out super easy. It feels like it's starting to turn. Something's happening there. Come on. Come out of there nice and slow. There we go. It's coming. Yeah, it's getting it. I'm getting it out of there. There we go. Wow. Here it comes. And, oh, here comes the slider with it too. I got it out of there. Boom, just like that. Now the last function of that sleeve we're going to talk about, remember, strengthened and stabilizes, becomes a puller if you got to heat it. And then of course, the last part of it is you grab that with a pair of pliers and you continue to turn and it will just pop that piece right off. Come off of there just like that. Boom. Pushes it off nice and straight. No damage to the extractor whatsoever. Truly, the F.O.R. system from RBRT is just a game changer. It just puts a whole new spin of versatility on all of the lines that have the F.O.R. system. The extractor, the socket extractor, really neat. So guys, that's a successful extraction. Do me a favor, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it, leave me a comment in the comment section. Make sure you share this out amongst your friends. I'm Dan the RBRT guy. We'll see you next time. Thanks very much.